Sid here. Hope you're all having a good day. In this video, we are going to demonstrate how you can configure a flow in Salesforce which can send out external emails based on record creation. We ideally want a email to be sent out to new members each time a new member signs in, and that can be greeted with a welcome email. For this purpose, we are going to select a record triggered flow. Bear in mind that we are in a sandbox for a nonprofit success pack. I am logged in as myself, and I do have administrator privileges. Let's click Create. Now we will define our start conditions for this flow. First and foremost, we must select a object to be referenced, which will be a contact object. And we are going to leave a record is created checked because we want this email to be sent out each time a new member signs up with a new record creation. So we're going to leave updated, and deleted unchecked. Now for our entry conditions, we have an option to select AND operator if we want multiple set of conditions to be true. Or we can select the OR operator if we want one of the multiple conditions to be true. For this simple flow, we're going to leave OR checked, and we are going to look up the primary email field that we have created on the contact object. The C signifies a custom field, a custom object, and we want this flow to check that this email field has been populated to kick this flow into action. So we are going to select is null for the operator. That would mean if primary email is empty, and this evaluates to false, which would essentially mean that this email has been populated indeed. We have also put a validation rule in place on the contact record that primary email must be populated in order for record creation. So that's how we will ensure that this flow is firing. Let's click Done. We're going to keep actions and related records selected here because we do want to send an email. Now with the start conditions out of the way, we are going to select Add Element, and we are going to select an action. This action will be Send Email. We're going to call it Welcome New Member Email. Description is a good practice. Sends emails to new members upon joining. We have an option to select a predefined resource for our body and a predefined subject resource. Since we're doing this from scratch, let's go ahead and create a new resource for our body. We are going to select a text template. We're going to call it Welcome Email Body. And description could be the same. And now we are going to reference a resource which will be our newly joined member. So let's greet him with hi. Insert a resource which will be a contact. Let's look for a first name. Contact. Click the arrow here. We are looking for first name so they can be addressed in their email body. First name. Enter. We're going to say thank you for joining our team. And we can populate as long as we want, but for this purpose, let's just leave it at that. And this signifies a dynamic field which will automatically pull in our member's first name. Imagine receiving an email without them specifying your name. We don't want that. Let's go forward and click Done here. Now you can see our welcome email body. A resource is defined for our body in this new action, which is send email. Now we need to populate a subject, which could also be a new resource. This will also be a text template. We're going to name it a welcome email subject. Name could be populated for our description. I guess same thing could be, so we want our subject to be, let's say, welcome to SAR Consulting, which is an arbitrary term. Uh, we can actually define a resource in here as well. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to look up the first name again. We can make our member's first name appear in the subject headline. This makes it a little more personalized. We're looking for first name again. And there it is. There it is. We can adjust the font, we can add pictures to this, but for this simple flow, let's just go ahead and click done here. And now with our body and subject properly populated with newly created resources, let's move over to our recipient email address. Let's click include and look up to our primary email field on the contact record right here. And this should automatically be able to reference this field, this dynamic field, and plug in our email address. While we're at it, let's also go ahead and click include on rich text formatted body and evaluate that to true in case we have any rich text included in our email. Let's click done here. Now we have our start condition defined and we have our action defined with properly populated new resources as you can see on the left. Let's go ahead and click save as and a new version. Now we are going to go ahead and debug it just to make sure everything is working correctly as intended. We are going to leave everything as is. We do not want to skip start condition. And let's go ahead and select a contact. Select Tom Shady and click run to see what happens. Voila, it is completed. Did not throw an error. As you can see, this yellow line went all the way to the end. And let's take a look at this. As you can see, everything was able to be referenced properly. Our email address was able to be referenced and everything went through without a hitch. Let's go ahead and activate it and see this flow in action. Now that this flow is activated, we are going to go to our home page and create a new member record and see if this flow fires. So from the menu, we're going to click create a new contact. We're going to populate record type. These are some of the required fields on our contact record creation page. And we want to make sure that we provide. So now with this populated, let's go ahead and click save. And this should automatically send an email as well. Come down here, you can see a new contact record has been created successfully. We're going to scroll down to make sure that we do have the primary email populated. Now I'm going to go over, switch a tab, and view the inbox for this email we have defined. Right here, as you can see, this newly sent email has been sent. Hi John, thank you for joining our team. Our flow has been fired. Now let's go back to our flow. And this was it. One more thing I would like to add before I conclude this video is we also want to make sure that our email deliverability settings are toggled on. Sometimes you run into an error where emails are not being sent. What you want to do is go back to your setup, look up deliverability, and make sure the access level is selected to all access, just to make sure that all your flows are firing and sending out emails. Thank you so much for watching this.